Hello everyone, this is DM Gashbad. After a bit of a delay, I'm finally bringing you my second League game for the small Blood Bowl campaign that is happening at Junction Games in Rocklin, California. I've been bringing my Orc and Goblin list, and if you haven't watched my last video and don't want me to talk about it right now, go back and watch that. Otherwise, I'm going to briefly say that it was a tie, a nice hard-fought tie. I got away without any serious injuries. I didn't get enough money to buy anything new, but I did get the experience necessary to give one of my guys Mighty Blow, my Blitzer Newcastle, who was a bit of a star there. Real quickly, my Orc and Goblin list is I've got 4 Orc Blitzers, 2 Black Orc Blockers, a Troll, 2 Orc Throwers, 3 Orc Linemen, and I did end up with a total of 4 rerolls because the special rules of the campaign are that we get 2 rerolls for free. I also got 5 fan factor. I actually went down 1 fan factor in the last game. I guess the fans just didn't like that there weren't enough dead dwarfs at the end of it. So I'm down to 4 fan factor, but I didn't have to pay anything for it, so I guess that's okay. For this game, I'm going to be playing against a Goblin team. This Goblin team has pretty much everything you would expect. It's got 2 Trolls, it's got a bunch of lousy Goblins, it's got a bunch of special star players. I don't think he has a Pogo Goblin. I think he just has a Bomber, a Ball and Chain Fanatic, and a Chainsaw guy. One thing to keep in mind, and this is going to come up later, is that he doesn't actually have the special, the secret weapon Goblins themselves. You have to special order those from Forge World these days if you don't buy the old models, and he's using the new plastic Goblins, which is kind of nice, but it's hard to get a hold of those special weapons. So there are going to be some regular plastic Goblins which are standing in for those guys, and I guess they're secret weapons, they've hid them reasonably well. Anyway, the weather for this game is going to be pouring rain, which I don't know could hurt both of us, really. However, as soon as the kickoff happens, it actually goes right back down to nice weather, so it's not going to have a huge impact on the game. You can see our starting lineups here. The Goblin team won the coin toss and elected to kick to me, which is just fine with me. I prefer to get the ball early on so I can cause a bunch of casualties and hopefully have an easier time stopping the score later in the game or scoring myself. So I've gone for something a little bit different in this setup here. I've decided to really pile a bunch of strength into that center, into the middle of the line of scrimmage there. I'm not going to get scared by these Trolls. I'm going to do my best to try and start breaking some heads there. And I figure if he wants to try and skirt around the edges with his Goblins, he can go ahead. Maybe I can get a chance at pushing one of them out of bounds. But anyway, I've only put a single Orc blocker on the sides, and I've really piled up my Troll and the Black Orcs right in the dead center, and my Blitzers there as well. I'm really going to try and pile on a bunch of hurt to these Trolls, and especially the Goblins that are helping them, because I don't want to deal with them. As always, I do have my 2 throwers in the back. They're going to try and scoop up the ball. This is where my opponent has elected to place the ball. One thing to note is that in the new edition of the game, and again, I've really only played the old edition of the game, and not very many games of that, really. I've mostly just played it on the old Xbox. But anyway, in this new edition of the game, you've got trick balls that you can kick. And so the Goblins get a lot more choices in this than most other teams. And in this case, he is elected to kick a Snotling ball towards my team. And that's where you'd simply take a Snotling and stuff it in the ball. And so when I go to pick it up, there's a chance it can wiggle free and run around on its own. That's actually pretty hilarious. But anyway, there's a chance that the kicker gets caught and ejected from the game when he does this. In this case, he does not. He doesn't roll the double on the kickoff table that would do that. And so this is where he elects to kick the ball, and this is where it ends up after scatter. So the first thing I do is I activate number 1, Natty Light. He successfully grabs the ball and moves up to that burly Orc line there in the front. My other thrower, number 5, Toss Eckies, he goes up and tries to support him. My blocker, number 7, Krieg Stone, just touches back a little bit to try and make more of a cage there. Same thing with my other blocker on the other side, that's Corona Line, number 4. And now I'm ready to start rolling dice. The hero of the last game, number 16, my Blitzer Newcastle, throws a block against the Goblin, and immediately kills him. Breaks the armor, gets the casualty result, the Goblin just dies on the injury table. Newcastle just punches his fist through the Goblin's head and takes him out of the game immediately, so that's a great start. My other blocker, Sting Tao, number 9, he pushes the goblin away. My black orc, number 6 there at the top, Saw Miller, he pushes the troll and doesn't follow up. I would like to see if these trolls have to get in to throw block, I would like to have them take a risk and blitz if possible. Number 3, Ham's Fist, does much the same. He pushes the troll and doesn't follow up. Number 14, another orc blitzer. He declares a blitz but only manages to push a goblin. These goblins are hard to kind of knock down because they have dodge. So if I get the defender stumbles result, it means they just get pushed. My number 2 blitzer, Smash Adams, goes and just gets into the tackle zone of that goblin, looking to smash him next round. And one thing I forgot to mention, in the very center of the line, that little goblin there between the trolls, that was actually a goblin fanatic. And so I've cleared those trolls, I've given myself a couple extra tackle zones. I'm going to go and declare a block with Pabst, my troll, into that fanatic. I go ahead and I smash him, break his armor, and KO him. So he's going to go to the knocked out section of the dugout, and that's going to clear up a lot of problems for my team. Because I do not want that ball and chain fanatic whirling around the center of that tough line of orcs. That's not gonna help. So with that fairly successful start to my turn, it is now my opponent's turn. And the first thing he's going to do is he's going to move a goblin up to St. Molly. He's going to try and get a bunch of guys in there to throw a block. That number 2 goblin just hangs back a little bit. He's got 2 more goblins. He's going to pile them up against number 2, Smash Adams. He's looking to get an advantage on that block he's going to throw with the number 1 goblin. Another goblin just dodges back, and he throws his block against Smash Adams, but only manages to push him away. The number 4 goblin moves up. He gets into base to base with that troll, trying to get him moving. He's also adding to that block that he's going to throw against St. Molly. Goblin number 7, he throws the block. He's got advantage. He's got 2 dice against my 1 now. He throws his block against St. Molly and gets a knockdown. So he knocks him back there and he doesn't follow up. So his troll just stumbles forward to get into contact with number 9, Sting Tao. The other troll stumbles up as well. He's going to try and put some pressure on that cage I've got around my ball carrier. And for his final trick, he activates the Snotling Ball, and it manages to wiggle free of Natty Light, and it scampers off back down the field. Okay, that's going to kind of put me behind. So I've got to get St. Molly to stand up, and I'm going to move him back into contact with one of those goblins. Really have to do something about that Snotling Ball. So number 5, my thrower Toss Ekis goes, and he grabs that ball again. We got to get him going the other way down the field. My Orc lineman, number 4, Corona Line, he's going to move and he's going to help protect number 5, the ball carrier. My other thrower, Natty Light, moves into the tackle zone of that troll to help out against the upcoming block. Number 2, Smash Adams, is the one to throw the block first. He only gets a push against that troll. Number 7, Krieg Stone, my Orc lineman, he's going to move back a little bit to help make more of that cage around Toss Ekis. Number 16, Nuke Castle, throws a block against that troll, and he knocks him down, breaks the armor, and gets a stun result, so that's pretty good. Pabst, unfortunately, in all this excitement, forgets what he was supposed to do. He goes stupid and isn't going to do anything this turn. Number 6, Black Orc, Saw Miller, just moves up to mark the next troll. Number 3, Black Orc, Ham's Fist, does much the same. My number 9, Blitzer, now has even dice against that troll, so he's going to throw a block, and he's going to knock him down. So it's my opponent's turn, and the first thing he's going to do is he's going to activate that Snotling Ball, because of course that was a pretty big thing the last round. So I've got to try and make another roll to hold on to the ball. I have to burn a reroll in order to do it, but I do maintain my grip on that dumb Snotling. So the next thing he's going to do is he's going to have 2 goblins move into the tackle zone of number 2 Blitzer, Smash Adams. His first troll stumbles up and gets back into the line. His number 4 goblin goes back into the tackle zone of number 9 Blitzer, Sting Tao. His number 2 goblin moves up as well. His number 8 goblin moves around, and so now he's got a bunch of guys ganging up against poor St. Molly there on the bottom of the field. And he throws the block and he knocks him down. He knocks down Blitzer, St. Molly. And then his goblin moves up against my Orc Blitzer on the other side of the field. Okay, it's my turn again. St. Molly, number 14, Orc Blitzer, goes and stands himself back up again. Paps has figured out what he's supposed to do. My troll passes his stupidity test and moves around to the other side of his front line there. Number 2, Orc Blitzer, Smash Adams, goes and pushes the goblin in front of him. Number 16, my Orc Blitzer Nuke Castle pushes his Goblin. Number 7, Orc Lineman Krieg Stone moves around the outside of the field. He's going to try and pen these Goblins in. He just goes and gets into the tackle zone of that far Goblin. My thrower, number 1, Natty Light, he's going to move up. We're going to make a cage on the other side of the field here. Number 5, thrower, Toss Eckies, he's going to move up. We've got a partial cage here. Hopefully that'll be good enough. My Orc Lineman Krieg Stone moves to kind of seal up the back part of that cage. My Orc Blitzer, number 9, Sting Tao, he goes and casualties another Goblin. These Goblins have a +1 on the injury check. They're not so terribly hard to cause casualties on. So he's going to get himself a nice star player point and clear another player off the field. Black Orc, number 6, Saw Miller, goes and knocks down that troll. And oh boy, we're really having a run here. Black Orc, number 3, Ham's Fist, goes and casualties a Goblin of his own. So he's going to be sent to the recovery room, and he gets himself a nice star player point. So my opponent is rapidly running out of Goblins, but I did have to spend a reroll in order to do that. Alright, it's been another good turn, but it's back to my opponent. So the first thing he does is has his troll stand up, and his number 3 Goblin really makes a break for it. So he dodges in and out of my guys, and he runs over to my ball carrier, number 5, Toss Eckies. The number 1 Goblin also moves up, and he's going to mark my Orc Lineman on the other side. Unfortunately, his troll on the ground just goes stupid and doesn't get to do anything. And he's going to go for it. He's got a play here. He's going to dodge his Goblin out, and he's going to try a blitz onto my ball carrier. So he's going to be on even dice, but that's not so terrible. Unfortunately, and this is bad news, he fails just a series of those dodge rolls, and he falls down right behind number 5, Toss Eckies. So that's got to be a big disappointment. And it's back to my turn. I'm going to start off with punching a bunch of people. Nuke Castle, number 16, my blocker goes and knocks down the Goblin by my Orc Lineman behind the ball carrier. Number 2, Smash Adams, goes and declares a blitz. I'm going to try and clear out some of the problems I've got surrounding Toss Eckies here. So he declares a blitz and he knocks down a Goblin, and then he moves back into position. Number 1, Natty Light. We've got daylight here between us and the end zone, so we're going to make a break for it. He's going to go downfield. Toss Eckies is going to follow him with the ball. Number 7, Lineman Krieg Stone moves up. We're going to add a little bit of protection to that group. Same thing with number 4, my Orc Lineman Corona Line. Number 9, Blitzer Sting Tao. We're going to continue this rampage. He's going to move up to punch more Goblins in later turns. Pabst the Troll goes stupid again. That doesn't help. Number 6, Black Orc Saw Miller moves over into the center. We're going to try and deal with that troll. Number 14, Blitzer St. Molly goes and casualties another Goblin. So more Goblins are getting sent off the field on stretchers. St. Molly's going to get himself another star player point. And yeah, we're rapidly racking up the numerical superiority here. And number 3, Ham's Fist, the Black Orc, takes a big swing and knocks out the Goblin in front of him. So it's back to my opponent, and he's running out of both Goblins and options at this point. So first thing he's going to do is the number 10 Goblin is just going to stand up. The number 3 Goblin is going to get up, and he's just going to get in the tackle zone of my lineman, Corona Line. Another Goblin gets up, dodges around, and goes to get into basic contact with that troll. He's going to try and make sure he passes his stupidity test. But it doesn't help. The troll rolls that 1 and goes stupid anyway. I don't know what kind of debate these trolls are having, discussing what kind of bugs taste best, but they are completely distracted and not doing much of anything. But his other troll does have a much better play on his hands, so a Goblin is right there, and the troll picks him up and tries to throw him at my ball carrier. The hope being that he'll just land on that guy and knock him down, and that ball is going to go free. It doesn't quite work. The Goblin goes off a little bit and ends up by my other Orc Lineman. He does stay on his feet, but he does miss my ball carrier, so that's going to give me another nice turn to do stuff with. So it's my turn, and number 5, Toss Eckies, is just making his way slowly but surely to that end zone. My other thrower, Natty Light, moves up to support. Number 7, Orc Lineman Krieg Stone just goes and pushes that Goblin away. Number 4, Corona Line pushes his Goblin as well. Number 2, Orc Blitzer Smash Adams goes and KOs the Goblin next to him, serves that little guy right. Number 16, Orc Blitzer Nuke Castle knocks down his Goblin. Number 9, Orc Blitzer, oh my gosh, it's just getting worse and worse. Sting Tao blitzes and KOs another Goblin. So that knocked out bin is getting pretty full right now. They're piling goblins up on the stretchers. Black Orc number 3, Ham's Fist, moves over. We're just going to try and limit what this troll can do in the remaining turns. Number 14, Orc Blitzer, St. Molly, does much the same. So whatever was happening in that debate with those two trolls has obviously angered Pabst, so he actually passes his stupidity, throws a block, and knocks down the opposing troll. And number 6, Black Orc, Saw Miller, just stumbles down the field to add a little bit of protection running down that way. So for whatever reason, I forgot to take a picture of this, but in my opponent's next turn, whatever he tried didn't work. He tried to get a goblin to go and do something a little bit daring, and I think he immediately failed to dodge. And so we go right back to my turn. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have my thrower, number 1, Natty Light. He's just going to move off a little bit. We're going to create more of a perimeter defense around my ball carrier. Number 5, Tosekis, he's actually going to move back a little bit. So I've counted how many squares this snotling ball can run off if it escapes again. And what I don't want it to do is I don't want it to actually go off the field and get thrown in and possibly end up in the hands of another goblin. So I just want to move a little bit further off so the goblin can't go off the field. And I just want to punch more goblins. I'm not in any rush to score here. I want to just cripple as many guys as I can and then score in the final turns of this half. Number 9, Orc Blitzer, Sting Tao, just moves up to help, just making absolutely sure nothing crazy happens to get that number 5 guy. Orc Lineman, number 4, he moves up to that troll, just keep him in check. Number 7, Krieg Stone, does much the same. Number 3, Black Orc, Ham's Fist, also moves into contact with the troll. Number 2, Orc Blitzer, Smash Adams, goes and just moves up a touch. Debate having been settled, the Pabst the Troll forgets what he's doing again, and he goes stupid. Number 16 moves around. We're going to try and surround this goblin. Black Orc number 6, Saw Miller, moves down as well. And number 14, Orc Blitzer, goes. He blitzes and he just pushes that troll. It's my opponent's turn, and first thing is that Goblin number 1 and Goblin number 3 just stand up. And my gosh, my opponent's luck. It's just not good. One troll goes stupid, and then the other troll goes stupid. So no trolls get to do anything this round. And that was it for his turn. So, number 2, Smash Adams, my blitzer, stuns the goblin in front of him. Number 16, Orc Blitzer, Nuke Castle, stuns the goblin in front of him. So I'm not causing these guys casualty, I'm not getting the star player points. It's fun, but I'm not really getting anywhere with all this. Number 14, St. Molly, he throws his block against that troll, and he knocks him down. And I guess fun is fun, but now we're done. Number 5, Orc Thrower, Tosekis, just walks into the end zone and scores. So I get to kick off now. I get an extra re-roll because of the kickoff table result. And the ball goes straight to the goblin down there, and he catches it. He's going to run off, he's going to hand off the ball to that goblin with the idea that then that troll is going to throw that goblin towards the end zone, and then the goblin is going to score. He's going to go for a one-turn score right here, but he immediately fails the handoff, which just makes everything fall apart. I tell you, my opponent is just not having the luck right now. So it is my turn. This is going to be my last turn. So number 4, the Corona line, is going to move up. Number 7, Orc Lineman, goes, and he just moves to guard that ball. Just tries to make it a little bit more difficult for a goblin to pick it up and go for that one-turn score again. My Blitzer, number 9, Sting Tao, blitzes, and he pushes the goblin away. Number 2, Blitzer, Smash Adams, moves to get in contact with that troll. Number 6, Black Orc Saw Miller, goes and pushes the goblin in front of him. I'm not really preventing these guys from doing much. I'm just kind of shoving them around a little bit. Number 14, Orc St. Molly, goes and just moves up a bit. Number 13, Pabst, goes and just pushes that goblin away. Number 16, Orc Blitzer, Nuke Castle. He's just going to move into that huge pile in the center there. And number 6, Black Orc Ham's Fist, does much the same. So it's my opponent's last turn, and he wants to do at least one thing. That goblin there at the top, that is his loony. That's the guy with the chainsaw. So he pulls out that secret chainsaw from who knows where, and he's going to go and blitz my Orc Lineman. He gets him, and he gets a KO. So Krieg Stone is off the field. And then he goes for that score, and he just immediately fails the ball pickup. I've got my Orc right there. It's too much, he doesn't manage to do it, and it's turnover, and that's the end of the half. So here we are after halftime. Krieg Stone, my lineman, manages to shake off, that chainsaw attack, and he gets back on the field. So the Goblins are receiving this time, and they are going to stack their left-hand side of the field with all the trolls, and so they're going to make a big push down that side. However, the kickoff result is a perfect defense, so I get to reorganize my guys, and I get to counter that threat. Here is where, after the scatter and all that, is where the ball ends up. First thing my opponent does is that chainsaw wielder, he has got a thing against number 7 Krieg Stone. He goes and immediately stuns him again. Goblin moves up to the line to try and help out that push on the left-hand side. Oh, my poor Black Orcs. His troll activates and he knocks down number 6 Saw Miller and knocks him out, so he's off the field. Another Goblin moves up. Another Goblin moves up. And his last Goblin tries to pick up the ball. Well, that's a problem because he failed. And it's turnover, my turn. Number 4 Orc lineman, he's not going to take that from that chainsaw wielder. He throws a block into that loony. I'm tired of that dude. He knocks him down and he stuns him. Number 2 Orc blitzer, Smash Adams, goes and pushes back that number 1 Goblin. My thrower, Natty Light, sees no reason to hang back too far, so he's going to move up. Number 5, Orc Thrower, he's going to hang back again. I'm wary of thrown goblins these days, so I'm going to try and guard against that a little bit. My Blitzer, number 9, Sting Tao, goes and he just runs up to put a tackle zone on the ball, and the goblin looking to pick that up. A couple of things have happened in this picture as well. Number 13, Paps the Troll, has knocked down my opponent's troll, and Nuke Castle, my Blitzer, number 16, has pushed a goblin away. But I did have to use a reroll to prevent a turnover on that. Number 6, my remaining Black Orc, Ham's Fist, has moved in to help against that standing troll. And St. Molly, number 14, just kind of chills. So it's my opponent's turn, and the first thing he's going to do, he's going to have him move up against number 9, my Orc Blitzer, who's guarding that ball. And he's going to have his last Goblin blitz, and he's sure enough going to knock down Sting Tao. He's going to break his armor, and he's going to stun him. So with that, Goblin number 3 goes and picks up the ball, runs over, and makes a handoff to that Goblin number 5. And oh man, it's getting serious here. His troll passes stupidity, gets up, grabs that Goblin number 5, throws him, and he lands on his feet. So he just sprang all the way past my defensive line. Not only that, he manages, because he hasn't activated yet, so he dodges away from my defending Orc Thrower around into the end zone and makes a 1-turn touchdown. So he has evened it up with a rather spectacular play. So you're going to see here, we're going to start having some problems. So he has lost a lot of guys and he can't field a full team, which means any guys he does have, he's got to field them, which means that includes his secret weapon guys. So we kind of forgot about them, and we made a little bit of a mistake. But anyway, he's got his bomb thrower in this game. Because we're kind of losing track of these guys, he ends up being the kicker. And my opponent has a new plan. He's going to send out his bomb ball. So he's stuffed a football full of dynamite, and he's going to kick it downfield. However, because he placed kind of the wrong guy in the wrong place, it's got to be his bomb thrower, and he actually gets ejected from the game because he rolls that double on the kickoff table and gets caught. Now it's still that bomb ball, and it's kind of a complicated thing. He chooses how long of a fuse he wants, and every round it's going to do one of 3 things. It's going to move down 2 counters, it's going to move down 1 counter, or it's going to just go out. And you can use rerolls on those. But at some point, it's going to explode, and it's going to cause a lot of problems to a bunch of guys around there. So it sort of adds in another level of thought to deal with right here. I do kind of think that this is pretty cool. Anyway, I think the actual kickoff table result gives me another reroll. So here we see where that bomb ball ended up, just right behind my defensive line there. That could be a problem. And he sets the fuse at 6, so it's going to count down on the turn counter. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm completely tired of this chainsaw wielder, so I'm going to run out there. Now, he probably should have gotten ejected last round, but he used his bribes to keep him in the game, which is absolutely fine. So number 16, Orc Blitzer, is going to blitz him right away, just run straight over him, knock him down, and stun him. Number 9, Sting Tao, my other blitzer, he's going to knock down the goblin in front of him. Black Orc number 6, Saw Miller, he's going to push the troll away and he's not going to follow up. My number 2 Orc Blitzer, Smash Adams, he's going to push the goblin in front of him. Number 13, Paps the Troll, goes and knocks down the troll in front of him. He's going to go ahead and move up. He's not afraid of the troll. Black Orc number 6 also moves up. Number 7, Orc Lineman goes and marks that loony. Now, what I want to do here is I figured that this loony, when he wakes up, is going to go and blitz and try and chainsaw another one of my guys. So I want him to chainsaw someone who hasn't earned a lot of star player points and who is as cheap as possible. And guess what? My Orc Lineman gets the job. Number 1, my Orc Thrower, Natty Light, he moves up to that oddly sputtering ball. My other thrower, number 5, Tosekis, moves up as well. Number 4, Orc Lineman, Corona Line, moves up to mark that goblin on the far wing. And my brave Orc Blitzer, number 14, St. Molly, he's not afraid of a ball stuffed with dynamite. He's actually going to go and pick that up. It's going to be my opponent's turn, and the first thing that's going to happen is we're going to see how the fuse is doing. It actually goes out, so he rolls whatever result it is. That means the fuse just straight goes out. But he burns a reroll, and he keeps it moving. So now it's 5 rounds until this thing detonates. Okay, so here's another part where this gets really, really complicated. So my opponent has forgotten which of his goblins have the secret weapons. I think he's just straight forgotten that he's got secret weapons out there at all. So the first thing that he's going to do is he's going to take his troll and he's going to try and throw him at my bomb ball carrying orc. Now the thing is that looking back on it, we're pretty sure he actually grabs his ball and chain fanatic and throws him. I'm not really sure. Well, obviously he wouldn't have done that if he knew that was the case. But anyway, what happens is he throws him and the goblin doesn't stay on his feet and he falls. At this point, we think that this is just an ordinary goblin, but just keep in mind we're going to come back to this. This other troll stands up. This goblin stands up. Another goblin moves up, put a little bit more pressure on number 4, Corona Line. This other goblin gets a nice block against that Orc Lineman, Corona Line, and knocks him down. So again, here's that goblin that just got thrown, and again, we're still under the impression that this is an ordinary goblin. So he stands up and he dodges and he blitzes number 2, my Orc Blitzer, St. Molly. Of course, none of this can happen if this guy is the actual ball and chain fanatic, but this is what we're doing. And so he's got a 2 dice against block against that St. Molly, and he manages to knock him down. And you can see the ball ends up on the far side of him over there. So it's my turn, and I've decided that I don't want to pick up that ball. It's going to explode. I don't want my guys getting hurt here. So number 5, thrower Tosekis, is just going to move out of range of that explosion and just cover that ball. Number 14, my Orc Blitzer, that just got knocked down embarrassingly by that goblin. He's figured out what that ball is doing, and he doesn't want anywhere near it. So he gets up and moves out of range as well. Same thing with number 6, Black Orc, Ham's Fist, just touches away from that thing. My Orc Thrower, number 1, Natty Light, goes and knocks down a goblin. Again, we think that this is probably that fanatic looking back on this. And number 9, Blitzer Sting Tau, goes and just pushes the other goblin away. Number 16, Orc Blitzer Nuke Castle, continues his murder spree and casualties another goblin next to him. Orc Lineman, number 4, Corona Line, just stands up. Paps the Troll knocks down that troll again. Saw Miller goes and moves down. And my number 2 Blitzer, Smash Adams, he blitzes and just pushes the goblin. So here we have number 13 Goblin. Again, that's probably the fanatic. He just stands back up again. And another goblin, he's got a plan. He's going to get up and dodge away. I don't know really what he's going to do, but it doesn't work. He fails his dodge and falls down. And then the ball explodes. No one's hurt because we've all cleared the path. And so we're going to drop a brand new ball onto the field, and it's going to end up right here. So that worked out about as well as I could have hoped. So first thing that's going to happen on my new turn is that the Black Orc Ham's Fist is going to move up into contact with that troll. Number 16, Orc Blitzer, Nuke Castle, hero of the game. He's going to move into contact with the troll. Number 5, Orc Thrower, Toss Ekis. He's going to go grab that ball and move to the very center of the field. Number 14, St. Molly, goes and completes that cage. Number 9, Orc Blitzer, Sting Tau, goes and moves up. Number 6, Saw Miller. We're not going to make it easy on these trolls today. He's going to move up into contact with that troll over there. Number 2, Orc Blitzer, Smash Adams, goes and knocks down another goblin. That clears the way for number 4, Orc Lineman, Corona Line. He's going to move around to the other side. And by now we have discovered that number 13 goblin is a fanatic. So my orc thrower, Natty Light, is going to try to just dodge away. He's going to try and get away from that guy because there's really no hope of those two idiots on that side doing anything useful. But he fails, and so I go and I burn a reroll in order to get him out of there. And he goes and he fails his dodge again, so he knocks himself down right over there. It's my opponent's turn, and his goblin stands up. Another goblin goes and dodges and gets to that troll, try and get him moving. His troll does manage to stand up. His fanatic, okay, we've figured it out, we know what he's doing. He kind of whirls around and doesn't accomplish very much. But remember that guy standing right down there? That was that goblin loony, the guy with the chainsaw. So he's going to blitz. He's going to jump up and go and chainsaw poor number 7 Krieg Stone, and he's going to stun him. And finally, his other troll, he has his wits about him. He throws a block into number 16 Newcastle and knocks him down over there. Alright, too many trolls and chainsaws and ball and chain guys for my taste, so I'm going to try and get my ball carrier out of there. Number 5, Toss Ekis goes and just moves down the field. Newcastle stands up and moves to help protect him. Number 14, St. Molly, much the same thing. Number 4, Corona Line just goes and pushes that goblin right there. Number 9, Orc Blitzer, Sting Tao, moves, he knocks down a goblin. Number 2, Orc Blitzer, Smash Adams, he's had enough of that guy over there. He goes and bashes his head in and casualties yet another goblin. Star player point for Mr. Smash Adams. Pabst is doing his job, he knocks down the opposing troll. Black Orc number 6, Saw Miller, is getting work done as well. He knocks down the troll over there. Black Orc number 3, Ham's Fist, he's going to move up and he's just going to make a little diamond protective shell around that ball carrier. My number 1, Orc Thrower, Natty Light, he doesn't love the position that he's in, but he'd rather be standing up than lying down, so he just gets up. He's learned not to dodge away from the ball and chain fanatic. So it's my opponent's turn, and his goblin stands up and moves over by the troll. The troll stands up past his stupidity. That fanatic, I'm sick of that guy. He blitzes number 6 Saw Miller, but he does not manage to get him this time. No, Saw Miller looks like he's in trouble. The troll passes stupidity on his own. He stands up and moves over to surround him. And that fanatic continues to whirl around, and he knocks down my number 1 thrower, Natty Light. Okay, it's my turn again. Okay, I don't think there's anything much my opponent can do to stop me from scoring. Number 5, Toss Ekis, he's moving right outside the end zone. Number 14, St. Molly, moves up to just add a little bit of protection, as does number 16, Newcastle. Number 7, my Orc Lineman, Krieg Stone, he just shakes off that attack and stands up. Number 6, Black Orc, Saw Miller, has had enough of that chainsaw wielder. He's going to throw a block against him. He's got all the strength he needs. He manages to knock him down, move away from that troll, but he does not break his armor. I'm going to have to deal with this guy some more. Number 2, my Orc Blitzer, Smash Adams, goes. He blitzes the goblin. He pushes him away, but he doesn't follow up, and he goes to move to the other side to try and cut that guy off. Natty Light stands up. Hang in there, guy. Number 3, Ham's Fist, moves in to try and cut off that goblin some more. Pabst goes and just pushes that troll. Maybe we'll push him off the field eventually. My Orc Lineman, number 4, Corona Line, moves to try and surround this goblin. And what the heck, number 9, Orc Blitzer Sting Towel will do the same. It's my opponent's turn. That rotten fanatic goes and knocks down Natty Light again. Oh, and that loony. The loony gets up again. You know, he punishes Saw Miller for not finishing him off when he had the chance. He goes and casualties him, and as part of that injury, he has to miss the next game. And how is this for action? My opponent activates his troll. He's going to declare a pass. He dodges away from the orcs by him, goes and grabs that goblin that's surrounded by my guys, and throws him over to my ball carrier, and that goblin lands on his feet, surrounded by my dudes, but in the tackle zone of my ball carrier. Not only that, but now he gets to throw a block with that goblin that just got tossed across the field. He throws a 2-die against block against my Orc Thrower, number 5, Toss Ekis, and not only does he get the knockdown and that ball pops loose, but he breaks the armor and casualties Toss. Fortunately, he doesn't have any serious effect. He'll be fine for the next game. Suddenly, what was looking like an absolutely sure thing has absolutely been turned on its head. And finally, his troll standing out there in the middle of the field, this is too much excitement for him. He doesn't know what to make of it, and he just goes stupid. Natty Light, he goes and stands up. Hang in there. Number 13, my troll Pabst moves up to the other troll. Try dodging away from this one again. I dare ya. Number 4, Corona Line moves up as well. I'm just moving all my guys before I have to make these important dice rolls again. So number 2, Mark Blitzer Smash Adams moves to surround this troll. They've got very little else to do. So finally I have to go and I have to do something about this goblin right here. Number 16, my Blitzer Nuke Castle goes, throws a block, gets a double down. He's got the block skill. He's not worried. That goblin goes down on his face and is stunned. That's fantastic. I got this game in the bag. All St. Molly needs to do, number 14, Mark Blitzer, all he has to do is run over to that ball and just pick it up. Oh, he fails. No problem. I got a reroll. Burn the reroll. He fails again. It's another turnover. I'm suddenly getting a little bit worried. And there's that stupid chainsaw wielder. He goes and he stuns Krieg Stone. And that loony that's been wandering around this whole game, finally he throws a block that causes some problems against my thrower, Natty Light. He gets the knockdown, he breaks the armor, he gets the casualty, and Natty Light has to miss the next game. All his trolls go stupid, unfortunately. He's miles away from any goblin to give him any instructions. So it's my turn again. I'm going to activate St. Molly. St. Molly, this is your third shot at this. He goes and he does pick up that ball. He walks into the end zone and he scores on the last turn of the game. That's a victory for the Gutbeer Badgashes. St. Molly gets the star player points for making that second touchdown. It's going to be 2-1 for the Badgashes, and the crowd goes wild. So that was a really fun game. This is the thing about playing against Goblin teams. Whenever I look at playing one of those guys for something like Blood Bowl or Mordheim or anything, game to game, it looks like it's fairly even. Like they can pull out a victory, I can pull out a victory. I think it's fine. The thing that always stops me from playing those teams or war bands or whatever is that I always look at it and think of how many experience points I'm giving to the other side, because they are going to cause a lot of casualties. And sure enough, my team did rack up a fair number of star player points in all of this. So first thing first, I won the game. That's great news. I'm going to get a decent pile of money. My fan factor is going to go back up 1. I get enough cash to go and buy myself another Black Orc. I'm going to buy myself Anheuser Bash. So that gives me 3 Black Orcs, and so I'm looking pretty good there. And of course, I get a bunch of star player points. Sadly, the only person to actually go up a level and get another skill is Pabst the Troll, number 13. Now that's great because I really want to get him block. Unfortunately, he doesn't get that as a basic skill, so I have to roll a double or something like that. Anyway, he gets a skill, but it's one of his basic ones. I give him guard, which is still fantastic. So my team is looking really well. Unfortunately, I do have 2 guys that are going to miss the next game. I've got Natty Light, my thrower, and Saw Miller, my Black Orc. Now, fortunately, I bought back that other Black Orc, but it does mean for the next game, I'm basically, except for a couple of skills, I'm about at the same point as where I started. So I haven't moved off very far from that initial 1 million rating. However, it turns out it doesn't really matter anyway. So this Blood Bowl League, again, same as the last time, well, a little better than last time. It didn't exactly take off. Only 3 people, including myself, signed up. So guess what? We all played a game against each other. So, you know, it kind of ends. It wasn't any big thing. It just, again, it didn't exactly fall apart. I mean, technically, we played the whole season. Everyone played each other. We probably even had a winner, although we never really got together to discuss this. But in the next week, this Goblin team will go and fight the Dwarf team, and the Dwarfs are going to win. So we're going to end the season basically with the Goblin team with 2 losses, and both the Dwarfs and Orcs and Goblins with 1 win and 1 tie. I kind of tied first place, but I imagine that if we compare the costs of the team at the very end, because I had those 2 guys missing the next game, the Dwarfs are going to be higher than my Orcs, which is too bad. However, 2 more games in, a little bit more experience. I did enjoy the games that I played, and who knows, one of these days maybe we'll get a full season going. I do really like playing this Orc team. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, thanks for watching this. I'm sorry that the season really didn't turn out to be much more than this. This is game 2 of 2, so unless something else starts and there's nothing on the horizon, this is going to be it for Blood Bowl for a while. But yeah, let me know what you think. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, leave them below, and I'll see you on the next one.